Ben arrivati ragazzi a una nuova puntata. Oggi abbiamo niente poco di meno che Blood Electron. Oggi andiamo subito in presa diretta con le domande, non perdiamo tempo e cominciamo subito con Mr. Freddy. Hello Freddy.
Welcome to Il Calice Nero.
Thank you guys, thank you.
Yeah, for us it's a great honor to have you here in the show. Both are fans of the band, so we
cool.
hope that will be great tonight to have a chat together about your music career, Blood Electron, and has all the podcast / interview of Il Calice Nero. We try to make an out of the box interview. So as always, cool. Expect not the same question from us, and we hope that you will enjoy this kind of unique style of our interview making. And as always, guys, thanks to all the people that are following us. If you need to ask something to Freddy, comment below. We are both on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Our main channel is on YouTube, but you can ask whatever you want to Freddy. No censorship, no bullshit like that, as always. And before further ado, I will pass the word to my beloved friend here, the Maestro, with this Italian question. My Maestro.
Allora, visto che il Blood Electron, ciao Tony, il Blood Electron, allora c'è il sangue e il trono. Quanto queste due situazioni possono essere a livello artistico un qualcosa di maestro, un qualcosa di macabro. Quindi il sangue come combacia all'interno degli strumenti del Blood Electron, soprattutto della batteria di Freddy, appunto dei pattern di batteria, e quanto il trono riesce ad essere ospitato, a essere comandato dai Blood Electron stessi in maniera epocale.
So the question of the Maestro was about the meaning of the name of the band, starting with Blood Electron, but also making some comparison between the name and the ferociousness, the aggression, and the powerful of the sound of the drum patterns, the rhythmic section, guitars and stuff, and how you come up with this kind of attitude, those kind of assets we can call like this to make that kind of music, and also a little bit of imagery and all the topics that revolves around the project.
Holy shit, that was a long question.
Yeah, as you know, he talks a lot. So
yeah, I was expecting a really short one because I know you guys down in the south of Europe, you talk a lot, and it was only this short, but this was a long question. Yeah. The meaning, or where does the band name come from? That's a really interesting question. I really should like to know myself, because I think that was Död and Short, their idea of the band name, Blood Red Throne. I heard those three words together before this band, and that was one of the songs from Suffocation. I think they have they mentioned Blood Red Throne in one of their lyrics. I don't remember the song, but I think the name is quite powerful. If you look a bit further back in history, or even today, you know, all the fucking dictators or rulers of the world, they always sit on this blood red throne. If you think about all the people, what they have to do to fulfill their leader's dream, and that's I think also what we do is death metal. And I don't know if you saw the self-titulated album with the actual throne on the cover. It's quite majestic. Yeah. What's the other half of the question?
The other half of the question was the correlation between the name and the sound, especially in the rhythmic section, especially on the drums, since we have you here, and also what are your not influences, but what you think when you are going to create something, because we know your band for the aggressivity, the aggression, the power, and we want to know what's on your mind when you want to explain to people Blood Red Throne through a drum pattern, for example? Because we know in the metal there is the skank beat, the blast beat, but we know that, of course, the songs are the main core of the meaning of a band, of course, from the sound. So we want to know the correlation between name and sound, and why you come up with this kind of death metal.
Since the beginning of the band, there was when Tarja and Daniel asked me to join those two to play death metal. They had this this particular idea. They always wanted to play death metal, that the same kind of style that they were liking to listening to themselves. And they name dropped D-Side, Suffocation, Angel Corpse, Bolt Thrower, Cryptopsy, and this was I like this death. All their influences were the same as mine. So why the hell not try to make this? This was our inspiration, and we wanted to kind of make music that were really inspired by those bands. And both Chort and Död had their own ideas of this riff should have this blast beat, or double bass all along with blast on top. They all had their particular idea of how the drums should sound, and I had my idea. We tried both, and this is how a band finds their path,
own.
Okay. And but it's different from every album, or even further, like from song to song. Sometimes it's not, and I don't think when I record drums or make drum patterns for this band, I don't think of any particular song or beat that I'm influenced of. It's like, what suits this song? Is it it's whatever suits the song, but it always has this I'm a hard hitter, I play hard, but the groove has to be there. That's where we're from, the old school stuff. We play groovy old school death metal. So as long as the groove's there, it doesn't matter, how fast it is or how many hits you have on the snare. Or, yeah, that's what we are all about, to have songs that float and makes you bang your head or even dance if you wanna.
Death metal dance. Great.
Yeah, and it happens, man. It happens.
Yeah, I know. I know that it can happen. It's quite kind of awkward, but it's also fun to watch and fun to be part of it. Because it's the fan of watching a band live. Before, as always on the show, we try to translate for the guys in Italy. Before translating the whole question, all the things you say, because I'm here to adapt and translate in real time. I will ask you another question, so we kind of make this by topic, so you can have also the time to catch your breath, drink some water, etc. My question was back in 1998 when Blood Red Throne was formed. You jumped from an album which is Monument of Death to another affiliated with the Suffering. I just want to ask you the process of evolution between those two albums, also related to that kind of period of time, and also how was the situation back in the days and how much it's changed after all those years? Because for example, I cannot even imagine what is changes between the recording, the promotion of the album, the rehearsing, the composition. Because I think that every album you got some new stuff to come out, new inspiration, new things. So it's good to pick those two albums, which is, in my opinion, are my favorite, but also the fire starter of making Blood Red Throne the big act as it is nowadays. So it would be fun to make like a time machine and go back and try to relate it to nowadays.
It's interesting that you want me to compare the difference between those two albums, because I don't play on affiliate from the
as a listener,
as a listener. When I got the first mix from Monument of Death, I was really, I was kind of disappointed, because we chose to record Monument of Death with Roland V drums, and that was it was hard for my drumming heart to record drums on a electronic drum set. In the studio, it sounded kick-ass, but when the results came, the final result was, back then, it was really cold. It was extremely hard, and almost like cynical, the sound of it. But what I enjoyed most from that album was the guitar sound. I think the ferocity of the guitar sound. It was really violent, and I love that one. And I love the songs from the first one. I really like the songs. It's like they really mean something for me. And I always talk to Daniel with some years apart. Man, we should have recorded that album once more. Just re-record the whole album and just release it. As a re-recording. But that's a lot of work. And when I recruited my friend from my hometown, Kristiansund, Espen, based Antonsen, to join the band and to record their second album. And when I heard the sound for that album, it was like I was almost jealous. This is what I wanted the album to sound like. But I really think that's a great album, Affiliated, and I know a lot of old Blood Red Throne fans really like that album. As you said, one of your favorites.
Yes, my favorite. I love all of them all, but there was the first. My first approach with the band, but also asking you this because when we do interview like that on early work, there is always something that they want to change. So even as a listener perspective, but not an external listener, because you are part of it, of course. And if there is the possibility to re-record any of the song, what is your favorite song of those records? That a song that you really love and you say, oh man, this needs a better production. That's a song that you can never say no if you have to put on the set list for a tour, for example.
That's a hard one. It's
I know that it's hard. Yeah, I know. If you can make some multiple choice, no problem. But of course,
I have to sneak peek, a little bit. But any song from Monument to Death, would love to do that live, and we have done a few lately even. And also we did re-record. I don't know if you remember that, but on was it Union of Black and Machine? Of Flesh and Machine, I mean. We re-recorded Merry Whispers of Death. So that was kind of, a little test.
Yeah. As a bonus track, I remember. Something like that. Okay.
How will it actually sound if we re-record it today? And I really liked the outcome.
I don't know, maybe an anniversary, whatever CD you can make it if you can. But I know that it's a huge project.
Yeah, or even as the band works today, I live in one town, the vocalist in Oslo, the other guys in the south of Norway. So we all have our own, studio equipment. So we record at home or where we rent a space. So even if we don't release an album, if I can go to my studio tomorrow and record all the drums and then just send it to Daniel. Start record the album.
Nowadays it's easier to record and also to get a good sound.
It is.
So those 2 years made a lot of artists or stop the composition process since they release and the work stopped, or just writing more. So we got the two different pole of the situation, or 100 or 0. So I can imagine. So I see also some drum kits behind you, but I think that the Maestro will jump on gear later. But before going forward, as always, I will try to translate for people that are asking in the comments what we said, just to make the point of the situation, and then we jump start to the next question. Ok, praticamente abbiamo tanto da dire in queste domande. Ne abbiamo fatto una domanda in generale sulla correlazione nome e praticamente sound. Blood Red Throne per Freddy è il trono pieno di sangue nel quale ogni dittatore si posa come significato, e quindi l'aggressività è anche a livello di liriche, situazioni, è correlato comunque al sound, che deve essere comunque ispirato a gruppi per esempio come Suffocation e altri che ho nominato prima, bello groovoso ma incazzato e pieno di cazzimma, come si dice qua giù, quindi pieno di violenza, no? E fondamentalmente quello che ha detto è che la loro parte viene dalle influenze dei progetti che hanno sempre voluto fare, quindi sul death metal comunque europeo, americano, e comunque la loro parte è molto old school. Per quanto concerne la domanda che io ho fatto le domande da ascoltatore, perché lui non ha proprio inciso i primi 2 album, perché sono stati incisi con delle batterie elettroniche poi quantizzate al momento, che hanno reso comunque la loro diciamo performance un po' cruda. Però io ho chiesto guardi i primi 2 album, che sono Monument of Death e l'altro che è Affiliated with Suffering, 2001-2003. E abbiamo anche parlato sulla rivoluzione del suono, sul fatto che adesso l'aggressività si può comunque sposare con una tecnologia avanzata che permetterà comunque di poter registrare in maniera veloce anche dalle varie parti, perché abitano in varie parti della Norvegia. E poi abbiamo parlato del fatto che a lui non piace la resa sonora dei primi 2 album, e per esempio hanno registrato Merry Whispers of Death nell'album Union Flesh and Machine, uscito per Candlelight Records nel 2016, e il loro obiettivo sarebbe quello di quei 2 album di poter riregistrarli, perché sono comunque molto affezionati a tale album, anche i fan le richiedono. Io per esempio ho iniziato ad ascoltarli in questi 2 album, ma poi soprattutto c'è anche una questione di suoni, perché sono molto più le batterie elettroniche di 20 anni fa rendevano in maniera molto sterile, perché poi fondamentalmente il loro sound non era uscito come volevano, nonostante la qualità fosse alta, perché poi quando hanno parlato con il suo collega che poi è entrato nella band con la sua, hanno cercato sempre un suono un po' più caldo, un po' più incentrato nel non perdere l'aggressività ma anche il pathos all'interno delle loro produzioni. Penso di aver riassunto abbastanza quello che ha detto Freddy, quindi Maestro, make the next question to Freddy, because I think that I resumed a lot what we said. But guys, again, reminder, If you have any question, write on the comments. And if you are on Facebook or YouTube, there is the CC bottom, so you got the automated translation in case you don't understand. But we try also to make some resume in Italian, as I said, as always, on the Calice Nero, so you guys got covered. So you cannot misunderstand anything Freddy said about Blood Retron. But without further ado, Maestro, your question. Vai, Maestro.
Allora, il Blood Retron, Freddy, come batterista, appunto il pathos, cosa stiamo parlando prima, appunto la parte calda, però anche la parte ghiacciata, quindi all'interno di un iceberg, come riuscirebbe a subentrare appunto dei pattern di batteria in 16esimi e in 32esimi all'interno appunto del doppio pedale in 32esimi, quindi con dei blast beat decisi e appunto diretti. All'interno di questi blast beat, quanto si potrebbero posare all'interno di una bocca di un vulcano in piena eruzione?
Ok, hai finito, Maestro, la domanda?
Oui.
Ok, no, perché è bella interessante, pensavo che la continuassi. So, Freddy, the question of the Maestro was about again on the approach on the drum patterns of Blood Retron, but in general, because he said, oh, è sparito Freddy.
Abbiamo perso Freddy, attimino che stiamo recuperando dalla Norvegia, lo stiamo ripescando, ragazzi.
È andato negli iceberg. Comunque la domanda era riguardante il tipo di approccio a livello di batteristico, del doppio pedale maggiormente. Sì. Cioè per farle in soldoni, perché Hardiman voglio sapere voglio la strumentazione. Ok, appena rientra ce la chiediamo, non ti preoccupare.
No, te la portiamo direttamente, te la portiamo. Vediamo un po' cosa è successo, perché oggi l'abbiamo
Vediamo un
perso.
po'. Fammi un attimo scrivere.
Ragazzi, vediamo un attimino se scrive qualche cosa, ma penso di no, quindi lo recuperiamo come...
Ah, ok, eccolo.
Ecco
qua. Il bello della diretta, amici. Okay, Freddy, you can hear.
Okay,
can you hear us?
I'm back.
Yeah.
Something happened. Everything went
no problem.
Yeah.
No problem. The show will go on until I click end of broadcast on my computer. Yeah. So no problem about it. There is the question. I make the question from the Maestro, but there is, I think, someone on the comments say, I want his gear, but I think that he want to know your gear behind you. No, I don't think that he wants your own gear.
But, then you have to come and get it. Try to get it. I will kick his ass.
No, I think that he wants to know the gear that you got on your back. But before going the question of the Maestro was like your approach on double bass drumming. And also to combine the violence and groove stuff, the old school with maybe with new influences. How much you approach because you said before I do the drum part when that's suitable for the music. So the best for the music, I do whatever I can do to make the song the best way possible. So he wants to know your personal approach, also your technique on the blast beats. And on the double bass and how you approach the parts and if you use triggers, setup, stuff like that.
Well, the drum technical parts, I tend to, differ between things. For instance, sorry, I've been having a cold for 2 weeks now. I still cough.
No problem.
No problem. But yeah. Basically,
don't worry about speaking about technique because I'm your colleague, so we can have a nice rhyme shot.
Yeah. Cool. But bass drum technique, it's as old school as me. I just became 49 years old, so my drum technique is old. So it's basically heel up.
Okay.
And like this, like no heel toe, no.
So
like
single stroke,
like,
full, okay.
The ankle, and if it's if it's a slow song, you can see my thighs going like this, so on the whole foot. But depends on adrenaline level in my body, and but after the COVID period, I had 2 years with almost no metal playing. Of course, we recorded an album, but that only took a couple of months of that time. But rest of that time, I just played rootsy kind of music, and some cover bands, and really mellow drumming. So and my muscle mass shrunk, and my stamina shrunk. So when we started playing again this year, it was really tough to get back at it. With I tried to, as the same old Freddie, playing the same old songs, but that didn't work, because 2 songs out, I was completely drained, like aching everywhere. So I had to start really not slow, but in a lower volume, to try to make it intense and sound big without playing as hard as I used to. And it worked. So now, after 4 months of playing, I'm almost where I was before the COVID period. So
great.
Been working up.
So it's all about muscle and muscle memories, I think. So
yeah, muscle memory, and all the traveling, everything is kind of back to normal. So So, but still, I have a few miles to run, before I'm peaking again. So, but for blasting, it's no particular, it's just to practice with common drum technique. Do singles, do doubles, do triples, and speed up, speed down. Play low volume up to really loud, just practice, and that always works, It's like you're a drummer yourself, so
we are both drummers. Me and the Maestro. Yeah. Different styles of drumming, but we are both playing drums, so we have we deal with this kind of things every day, because I also make some teach to kids, and I know that you teach to drums, so we know that. Also. But I never was the kind of guy that do I'm just like the kind of groovy stuff, because I grew up with the Vinnie Paul, for example, and stuff like that. But of course, when I see Eric Moratti, for example, for Suffocation, or I saw bands like that, I wanted to be in practice all day long. So just to keep the breath, the stamina, because I know that most of the things is the technique, but also how you catch the breath and how you manage to be able to play at this kind of speeds. And since I want to implement the question from Hardyman here on the YouTube, because he wants to know your way to gear, that you have it's difference between studio gear and live gear, or you kind of have the same setup?
Where we are now is at my home. I have this. This is a really old Tama Imperial Star. Beautiful old Tama Imperial Star from the late 70s. You see this?
They got huge respect, because they sounds great, even if
they sound great. And but I have put since it's in my home, I have my own house here, and I can play as loud as I want, but I have a son that soon is 8 months old, so I can't blast off anytime anyway. So, but I have this silent stroke heads and some triggers, so this is just to be able to practice at home. So. But this is part of a huge drum set. I think it's now it's up to 8 toms and 3 bass drums, one 24-inch, two 22 inches, and but I mainly use those drums for the other projects I play, and I also play, like I told you, roots music and rock music, pop music, anything actually. So I have different sets here in town that I use. I have this Pearl Master Studios, the Birch set with double bass, 10, 12, 13, 16. And I have a variety of snares I use.
You do not have any kind of endorsement gear that you... Okay.
No. And, that's all my life. That has been a little dream of mine, to be endorsed by a, respectable drum company or cymbal company, or, but the older I get, you get, if you get an endorsement today, it's you even have to pay for it. You have to pay for the drum. So
it's like having a discount. So it's good only for the pocket, but
yeah, of course it's great to have those deals. But I like the old Thomas and I like the semi-new Pearls, but I want to be able to use what I like.
You want to be free, basically, to play whatever you.
But when it comes to drumsticks and heads, for instance, that would have been interesting, to have a endorsement deal with Vic Firth, or and also cymbals, as they tend to, they travel a lot with all the cymbals and eat all the drumsticks and punch hole in the snare drum time to time. So, but then again, when we tour, we come from Norway, and you don't travel with a full crazy drum set down to South America or through Europe. You rent stuff, or we mainly played festivals this year. So we on our technical rider, there's always good drum set with the specifics is not less than medium priced. You have to have
okay. So
good
you can
gear.
adapt. You can adapt yourself on whatever is on the place, but of course you need a specific sides or specific setup.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm not that specific on the sizes, but it has to be good drums,
Okay.
But
I got it. Yeah.
But also, when you've been playing since you were 12 years old, and I'm soon 50, you know how to tune the drums to make them sound great or greater or better. When you come to a venue that they almost look like they've been shooting on the drum heads with a shotgun. Then you have you have to tweak the shit out of it so it sounds like a drum again. So, but
at least something is like a trash can, but it's be the nap house kit or festival drum kit are always be the nap.
Mostly, most of the festivals have good gear on the venues. So no problem.
So you bring when you tour, you bring only sticks, pedals, and cymbals.
Yeah,
it's correct. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes I used to bring my own snare, but
if you travel by plane, it's
it's always by plane,
cost.
So but snare is the least problem on the drums department. So,
and just to complete the question of this guy that wants to know the gear, which kind of drumstick you use as sides wise?
Also there I have periods that I use a certain size. So nowadays for metal I use the 5B Extremes with Vic Firth. I'm quite comfortable with those, but I even have used regular 5As, and they are really thin and light, but they work too. Sometimes it's like come to the practice room and it's like whoa.
You're speaking with an extreme two big guy. I use the three.
Yeah.
I use the trees, not drumsticks,
You
because I
use the lumber.
yeah. So okay, Ardiman, we hope that we will be satisfied about the question of gear, because Freddy
it's
was
a variety, you know. It's like I use all kinds of stuff, but sometimes 5B extremes, sometimes lighter sticks.
I know.
Sometimes I'll use big cymbals. I never use small cymbals. I hate splashes and stuff, but I use my smallest crash cymbal is 17, I think. So from 17 and up.
Okay.
And so
Okay, so I think Hardyman, you will be satisfied about the Freddy's question. Quindi ragazzi, velocemente, non ha endorser, I'm translating really quick. Non ha endorsement, diciamo, seri di batteria, quindi fondamentalmente si adatta a varie tipologie di brand, di piatti, di batteria, vari kit in base al genere, per cui sono tanti generi. Alla fine lui, quando va ai festival, chiede direttamente la batteria come tutti, insomma, solo che chi c'ha gli endorsement ha la batteria con l'endorsement, chi no si fa trovare quella che c'è il locale / il festival, tutto scritto nel tech rider, quindi si viaggia solo con personali, piatti, pedale, eccetera. Per quanto concerne infatti le parti di batterie, per lui l'espressività di violenza del blood red tone, come diceva al maestro, è stata difficile da mantenere in questi 2 anni di pandemia, perché comunque ha dovuto cambiare il suo modo di approcciare e di fare pratica, perché fondamentalmente non ha suonato metal per questi 2 anni, ha suonato altri tipi di musica, quindi adesso si sta un po' ritornando alle origini, e quindi sta un po' riacquisendo il dinamismo per quanto riguarda la tecnica old school, quindi caviglia a morire e subito bello incazzato e bello da death metal, insomma. Però piano piano si sta facendo tutto il percorso per ritornare, insomma, ai fasti del pre-Covid, dove era più abituato a suonare questo tipo di musica. Vai maestro con la prossima domanda.
Allora, portiamo sempre sul pattern di batteria di Freddy, cerchiamo di smembrare la batteria, quindi sulla parte tecnica. Portiamo il livello delle terzine. Il livello delle terzine, come potrebbe essere il manoscritto di un libro filosofico? E allo stesso tempo, quanto queste terzine devono essere messe in un rullante, occhio. Invece l'altra parte di terzine dovrebbe essere appunto all'interno del doppio pedale. Quanto invece il doppio pedale riesce a creare poesia, quindi delle rime, quindi avere un inizio, una fine, ma al centro della poesia è quella che sorregge l'intera, appunto, manoscritto di poesia.
Okay, so the question of the maestro was like trying to find the artistic way to play drums, you know, between triplets, between the snare, between the kick drum and stuff like that. He's asking you a particular question because he said if Freddie has to run with fantasy, with his imagination, and Sticks can beat the drums, but also can write some kind of poems, stuff like that. Which kind of book can represent the aggression of Blood Red Throne drum wise? It's kind of like a bridge between literature, lyricist, books and music. This is the first part of the question, by the way. If you want to, you can answer that, and we will go with the second part.
I'm not a particular book reader, sadly. Maybe disappointing for you guys, but
No problem.
I will probably be answering that by, you know, it will probably be a book with a lot of aggression, but also a lot of what do you call it? Maybe history, because what I grew up with as at home when I was a kid, my father played all these old rock and roll albums, the Kings, Rolling Stones, the Beatles, Pink Floyd, David Bowie. I grew up with all this old rock and roll and started to, discover music myself, and from Kiss to Motley Crue and suddenly this neighbor of mine showed me Metallica the first time, and I was, whoa! And then Anthrax and Slayer, and you had Nuclear Assault, and it got wilder and wilder and wilder, and so my musical body is full of facets, it's the contrasts, and that also, when we play a concert, I almost never play the same breaks on the same places, so I kind of tend to improvise very often. I don't think many metal drummers do that. They play the same part, over and over again. But I want to, fuck things up a little bit. So if it's going to be, literature, it has to be a book about violence, history, and a love for violence and history.
Okay, no, it's cool.
Like
cool answer. Cool answer, by the way.
And some science fiction. What comes next? Nobody knows,
Okay. And since you've spoken about all kind of those kind of influences between your, I think, childhood, starting to listening to this kind of music, go heavier and heavier time by time. What do you think we have to watch from the past? Because nowadays everything quantized, everything perfect, everything in line. What you miss about the old way of approach the drums, and also what do you think about the evolution of drumming during the years, and what do you think we have to improve to not make everything sterile?
Yeah. It's that's a fucking huge question, because
I know.
and if you ask any drummer, you have a different answer. It's like different approach for that. But when it comes to metal, everything is more and more sterile, as you say, and everything is just when the mix, when the guys who's gonna mix the drum tracks gets everything on their computer, it's like everything is chopped up, so there's almost nothing left of the original drums, and then you use samples on top of it, and blend in or take the old drums out completely, and use only drum samples. And I love to check out new music, but I'm very often very disappointed of what I hear, because the music and the aggression in stuff is always there, but the sound of the drums are almost disappeared. So and sometimes you don't even hear the difference between the bass drum and the snare. Sometimes it's like one's like, yeah, I have problems with very much of the new metal, and but again, the whole music industry has changed. It's like it was there, but now it's there. As a complete 160 or 360 or 180 or 360. It's like everybody can record music. Everybody can make great sound, if you understand. So, and I don't think we can stop it, like it evolves its own way, and but I do think that if you are a band and want to continue to be a band, you just have to, keep on recording music, keep doing what you do, try to play as much live as you can. And we have been playing for many years now, so and we're still here, and we are recognized, So I think we can't, we can't protest and stop using samples, stop sterilizing music. It's like, of course, in my ears and my opinion, music sounded better before, especially metal music, but again, with today's equipment, you can make music sound extremely good without using all the samples and everything, but then it costs a lot of money.
A lot of money,
and recording, recording labels and their willingness to pay money for you recording an album. The amount haven't risen; it has gone down. Because it's getting cheaper to record good albums. But if you want to record a really good album, you have to use a lot of money with original sounding drums. So, or anything.
And speaking about, since you named and last bunch of the question, and I will translate. Speaking about the label approach, I know that Blood Red Throne is under Nuclear Blast, and how started this collaboration? What you guys have some plans for the future? Or just you want to play live? There is something planned from the next year. I don't know. You can spoiler something to us about the new some news. I don't know.
Of course, Nuclear Blast have been for us personally, it's it's an honor, because even when I was a stupid kid, I looked at the albums, it's like Nuclear Blast, man, releasing all these kick-ass albums, and now I'm there myself. I see my own name on the album cover together with the logo from Nuclear Blast, and of course that's quite an honor to be on Nuclear Blast. And of course we experienced that we got more calls about playing live, and so there will be more playing live. We have some interesting stuff going on in the middle and South America, maybe in September, but it's a little bit too soon. We're going to Mexico in the late of August, and we're also probably playing in Brazil a bit over a week later. So we're trying to not have to leave back home to Norway and then go back. So we're trying to make that happen, and also we're trying to get over to the other side of the world where we haven't been yet. So for Asia, Australia, we really want to go over there. So.
And what about, you have some things happening in Italy too, or for now nothing about our own country?
As of course, I'm the drummer and only the drummer in Blood Red Throne. So I don't, for now, I don't have some very good news for you Italians. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem.
But since I rejoined the band in 2013, I don't think we have played Italy.
So to Italian promoters, please bring Blood Red Throne to Italy. So in case someone wants to contact the band, just send an email and try to arrange something in Italy. Would be great.
Yeah, come on, we want to go to Italy and eat.
You have been in the past,
pasta.
I think. Yeah. You've been in Italy in the past, so I think that you got a positive experience. I hope that you got a positive experience touring in our country. If you can you before translating the question, can you share some memories about some previous tours, some past tours, just to something that nobody knows in between the bands that you want to share? Stupid things, funny things, I don't know. What do you think?
Blood Red Throne is more like it's really different to say this in English, but and I think much more difficult to say it in Italian, because that's gonna be. But we are a bunch of guys. We are old friends, and we are, we really like being on tour together. So
okay, so you guys have a lot of fun.
Since we don't live in the same city, it's like, old friends meeting again for the first time in, oh, it's so long ago. But it's only 14 days ago or something. So every time it's a party. So
okay.
Even if we wake up together at a hotel the next morning, it's like, there you are. It's another party. So there are too many stupid stories to choose from. It's like we have had band members disappearing on tour,
Okay, we got a little experience when we try to contact some other bands, because just to make you fan,
where did the guitar player go?
We got a reschedule from the interview to Malevolent Creation, because basically their bassist disappeared. So they say, guys, we cannot find our bass player, so we have to postpone the interview another time. So we know that maybe can happen on tour, this kind of thing.
These things happen, It's like, but luckily, it has turned out the good way every time.
I hope.
And a fun fact is that when we did just before the COVID, we did a little run in Mexico. We had a Mexico tour, and we also we were supposed to do four gigs in Texas. The first thing that happened was that we found out that the guy who was driving us around the Texas venues and who came to get us, pick us up at the Mexican border, he was a junkie. He was popping pills while driving the car. So we were shit scared, We didn't know if we were going to get to the first venue in Texas. So luckily, a good friend of mine, Cooper Brown, saved our asses there. So he jumped in the car and drove us around Texas for the next 3 or 4 days there. So, but 3 of us got sick. So the first cancellation of a tour date happened in Houston just the same year as the COVID started, and that's only 3 years ago. So that's a little fun fact, but that was food poisoning. It wasn't drunk poisoning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good to know for the people that maybe some people will ask about tour stuff. You got covered also about this. Okay, as always, we got like 5 minutes left. So as always, I will translate really quick, and we got the last 2/3 question. Ok, come sempre traduciamo le ultime due domande perché raggiungiamo l'ora di intervista. Allora, praticamente abbiamo parlato riguardante i libri che lui decide di trattare. Sono, secondo il suo drumming, sono dei libri che dovrebbero contenere storia, sia musicale che storia proprio dell'umanità, violenza e soprattutto anche incitamento alla violenza e proprio la parte filosofica della violenza, no? Per quanto concerne la situazione per quanto riguarda la questione abbiamo chiesto un po' di situazioni live, abbiamo visto le loro diciamo le loro situazioni live per quanto concerne il prossimo futuro. Purtroppo l'Italia non è contemplata, però sicuramente ci saranno news e chiediamo a chiunque sia interessato a organizzare Blood Red Throne in Italia di farsi sentire, perché loro comunque sono disponibili. Riguardanti la situazione dell'etichetta, loro si trovano molto bene, permette loro comunque di girare parecchio, hanno delle news in cantiere. Per quanto concerne i libri, non è tanto un lettore, però cerca sempre di incanalare la batteria attraverso quelli che possono essere dei contesti utili per rappresentare comunque la musica dei Blood Red Throne. Spero di aver riassunto al meglio. Maestro, che dici?
Allora, per quanto riguarda il Blood Red Throne 2011, Brutalitarian Regime, quanto questo disco è riuscito a inglobare in maniera perfetta la cover, che la cover è abbastanza particolare, che appunto ci vuole raccontare un mondo contorto, un mondo animalesco, un mondo quasi, non lo so, sembra quasi un bambino all'interno della pancia di un demonio. Quanto questa cover riesce a togliere, a levare la parte demoniaca dei Blood Electron.
Okay, so Freddy, the Maestro is asking you about the concept, the sound, and the cover art also of Brutalitarian Regime that was out 2011, I think, under Nigredo Records. So he says that if the cover art that represents something like a demonian child, some demons and stuff like that, he's asking you about there is a correlation between what you said about violence and aggression, but also if you can give to us your point of view of recording and how it went back, if you were able to explain the whole concept of this kind of album, which is his personal favorite. So for this reason, we want to ask you about this album.
Which album was it again?
Brutality Regime.
Brutalitarian Regime, yeah. Brutalitarian Regime is one of my
Brutalitarian. Sorry, was my lapsus. Sorry,
that's one of my favorite songs of Blood Red Throne, actually. However, I don't play drums on it. That is Brutalitarian Regime. I'm not sure who is playing there. If it's Emil or
again, we know it that you was not in the lineup, but since you got, I think, play something those tunes in the set list, we want to know your vision about the concept of this. Maybe I translated poorly the question, but we know that you were in a period that you won't play, but your own vision, about the album.
Yeah, but the the album is I really like the album, and I don't really know if the cover art, specifically relate to some of the lyrics or something there, but for the last album it really does. So I'm sure that the rest of the covers too have a there's a link there to the lyrics in the album. But Brutalitarian Regime, the title track of that album is one of my favorites, and it's really fun to play live. It has all the elements that I appreciate from Blood Red Throne, and even when I was out of the band from 2002 to 2013, me and Dud, we have always this email or text message while drunk or something. So we've stayed friends since I left the band, and they always send me the latest album, and want to hear my opinion of it, and but there's this yourself too. It's like from the first album to the last album, there's a red thread all the way. There's a silver lining, through every album. Some albums stick more out than others, but you can surely hear that it's Blood Red Throne that's been making the songs, and So, but you have brutalitarian regime, yeah. That's probably the Games of Humiliation also is also a good song from that album, I think. Yeah.
Since we know that you was not part of the band at time, I want to ask you, what is your approach when you have to play something that was not yours? You make your own interpretation, or you just stick to the original patterns of the band?
Here you have two aspects. I always want, when we play live, always want the fans to get what they want. They want to hear the song as it is, and of course on the songs that I didn't play on the recording song, I try to nail it, but then comes the adrenaline, and then comes me, so of course drum fills and stuff, and some parts may be different to the than the recording, and it's almost like every night is a different night, and the sound on stage is different. You get
so you try to stick to the original, but you use always your own signature way.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course, yeah. But also the second note on the same question is that since George left the band as the second songwriter, there's only Död left, Daniel, to record the songs. Also Ivan also writes songs, but when Daniel makes songs, he also record the drums with it that he wants to hear. He hears his drums, so he records programs drums as he wants to hear the song. And sometimes and very often that is what we stick to.
Okay.
But of course we are a band, so the snowball, it rolls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Invece a livello lirico e a livello della batteria, quanto sono unite questi due muri, diciamo? Quanto riescono a essere inseriti uno con l'altro all'interno
the Maestro also wants to ask if there is some correlation between the way you play with the meaning of the lyrics and stuff like that. If there is some research of playing to underline some lyrics, or you just flow the rhythm and you just work as layer, first the guitars, then and go up.
Nowadays, for the last albums, the lyrics have been written for the songs, so you have a theme on the lyrics that is true to the lyrics only, you could say, and then it gets on top of the music that's there. But of course, when we do play live, things happen that are more on point to what the lyrics are. If Bolt has these screams, or has for instance a strong word, I tend to use the China or the toms to of course live you can't hear what he rolls there, but I especially live I do that, but not recording wise, no.
Okay.
Traduzione, quell'ultima domanda.
Allora, so last translation of the day, and then last question. Okay, yeah, but first in Italian, because people is asking, and we are here for the people. By the way, Fred, thank you so much for your time, and we hope that you're enjoying the interview so far.
Yeah,
ok, ragazzi, abbiamo parlato della questione parliamo dell'ultima parte, liriche e batteria. La sottolinea le parti liriche nei live attraverso l'utilizzo dei tom o dei China, ma non durante non durante la registrazione. Durante la registrazione si attiene a quello che magari pensano insieme con i compositori durante la stesura dei pezzi. Poi fondamentalmente live c'ha più libertà, perché comunque, come abbiamo detto, dei pezzi anche di Brutalitarian, dell'album Brutalitarian, che io adesso Vedere Regime, comunque è un album che non ha scritto lui, ma che comunque lui ama, perché comunque è stato sempre in contatto con la band stessa, quindi fondamentalmente delle parti dove lui dà più spazio alle liriche attraverso la batteria, le fa dal vivo. Brutalitarian Regime è un album che lui è molto legato, anche se in quel momento storico non era parte della band. Abbiamo chiesto, lo sappiamo che non sei parte della band, però ti vogliamo chiedere da esterno, perché come adatti le tue parti di batteria a una parte di batteria, c'è un album che non è registrato, come è stato? Lui dice che lui cerca sempre di dare ai fan quello che vogliono, quindi mantenersi all'originale, però si prende sempre un'improvvisata, qualche cosa per dare la sua firma ai pezzi, e dice soprattutto, anche se lui non c'era nelle altre registrazioni, Brutalitarian Regime per lui è stato un album molto importante, perché al suo interno ci sono tantissime canzoni che lui tuttora ama suonare. E per quanto riguarda il concept non te ne sa rispondere, perché all'epoca, essendo fuori dalla band, ha potuto solamente eseguire la band a livello di suoni, quindi è stato molto in contatto con i due compositori, adesso uno solo perché un altro non c'è più, e quindi hanno avuto la situazione di poter mandargli i pezzi, dire cosa ne pensi, quindi è stato sempre, diciamo, in contatto con loro. Per quanto riguarda le domande di prima, ho dimenticato di chiedere com'era la situazione in tour. Per loro stare in tour insieme è bellissimo, perché sono come degli amici che si vedono poco, quindi cercano di apprezzare ogni momento e ogni situazione, quindi per loro andare in giro insieme è bellissimo, perché poi si divertono un sacco. Ha parlato di come hanno avuto intossicazione alimentare in Texas, poi ha parlato del driver pazzo che si drogava mentre guidava, ha parlato del fatto che hanno suonato in Brasile, in Messico insieme, hanno fatto una cosa un po' da pazzoidi. E detto ciò, ci sta parlando del suo approccio a livello di batteria, che di solito segue un po' anche le linee guida che gli fanno i compositori quando si fanno le demo di batteria con la batteria scritta a computer prima di registrare. Lui cerca anche di vedere anche gli altri, la loro visione, per poi fare una fusione, e ha fatto il paragone come una palla di neve che rotola più diventa grande. Così è la loro collaborazione tra band, insomma. Quindi si passano la palla a vicenda, e soprattutto hanno una concezione di band dove la canzone è il frutto di comunque una sorta di lavoro di squadra, ecco. Maestro, se vuoi possiamo fare l'ultima domanda.
Sì, l'ultima domanda. Allora, qual è la bevanda perfetta all'interno di un calice velenoso, quindi con un veleno color rosso, color viola, per descrivere, per gustare, per degustare totalmente appunto la musica Blood Red Throne con riff di chitarra e pattern di batteria?
Okay, this is the last question of tonight, and this is the question that we always make to our guests, because our program is called in English is called the Black Calice. So we try to view this Calice not only as something esoteric, ritualistic, metal, dark and stuff, but also to make the Calice of something that we drink together, we stay together, something about being together and being happy, no? And the maestro asking you, if you have to imagine some drink of beverage of your choice that can represent the blood red throne, so you drink this and to say, oh, this drink is perfect for your music, and maybe when you enjoy some albums, some final mastering, what you think that you would be into?
Hansa.
Okay.
Hansa
Okay.
Fatel.
This is a beer? Is this a beer?
Yes.
Okay.
No, that's my always preferred beverage while listening or playing music. But in the band, we have a thing for like Jim Beam honey or something like that. You know, light drink whiskey.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not for my brains, you know. It's more like this common drink in the band, maybe. But It's like the black Calice. I have a special heart for Fernet Branca.
Okay.
It's my preferred choice.
Yeah, because we ask this question because we imagine the old way to listen to music with headphones, sitting on the sofa in the winter with the fire, you know, and isolating with a booklet like this and a glass of whatever you want, and of course you show beer. Of course, is the most common choice.
Yes.
We got a lot of people on the show that are suggesting us a lot of beverage, you know.
Yeah.
For example, there was Sentinex.
That
he suggested the screwdriver cocktail.
Screwdriver.
Anyone say? Someone said a traditional beverage from their country. We got Sodom earlier this week, and the Yorke suggested us some his local shit. I can even name with kind of German stuff he's suggesting, but of course beer will be on top of the list. Of course,
if I should ask you though, what is the Italian? What kind of beverage is the black Calice?
For the black Calice, I don't. It is a tough question because of course the red wine.
You two don't agree on one black Calice?
I do not drink too. I do not drink actually too much, but we can agree that red wine, il vino, would be perfect on the black Calice because the wine, of course.
La bevanda perfetta per il Calice Nero?
Sì. What is the perfect drink, Maestro?
Un Chivas bello fresco.
Okay.
Bello fresco.
Bello fresco. For a cold Chivas, actually, for the Maestro.
Okay.
But I think that wine will be appropriate to make something ritualistic, you know? Because,
but also when we talk about Italy and wine, it's like a gazillion types of wine. It's like
a lot. You have plenty of you have plenty of
I
wines.
was in Nola, inside of Napoli.
Nola, I'm actually from Nola. So
are you from Nola?
Yeah, I'm the town near Nola. It's my town. So
okay. I was there in 2004, and every family we said hello to had their own wine.
Yeah.
So, but maybe especially in all of Italy.
I cannot even imagine that you were being in Nola, actually the city of
Giordano. I've been there
Bruno.
for 14 days, you know. So,
okay. I was a little kid back then because I'm from.
Carmine Stefanile.
I know. He's a promoter.
No, he's a cross country side.
No, biker.
He's a biker.
There is a promoter here that made pop music concert with the same name. So for this reason, I'm asking.
Okay.
Because I'm not from Nola. I'm a little town near Nola, actually. But in Nola there is the statue of Giordano Bruno. So we go there all the time in the square. So. Capito? Freddy è stato al paese mio, Maestro. Freddy was in my town. Great to know. And if you come to Nola again, please let me know because will be great, you know. And a lot of wines. In Nola, actually, there is near the square of Giordano Bruno, there is a wine bar, one of the greatest of the town. So I think that for this reason I say wine, because every time we make interview with someone outside Italy, they always imagine Italians with a glass of wine and the mamma mia says like this. So for this reason I say, but there is plenty of stuff. The Maestro is from Sardinia. I'm from I'm near Naples, as you know, and we have plenty of stuff that we can suggest because we are like thousands of micronations. Every town is a micronation, so you can get whatever you want. But beer is always the best choice if you talk about metal, because you can have it whatever you are in shows, festivals, and stuff like that.
Yes.
But we always encourage this because not only we are curious, but also we want to promote the local stuff. So when people shows his local stuff, his local way, we are happy because we learned something. So for this reason, we appreciate this fact, but also to make the interview a little bit not so heavy and serious, just to make some little laugh and stay together. Because
I think this is typical what metal is. Everywhere we go, and every country we go, we meet a lot of different people, and this is exactly the same. And we are into the same music style, metal, and metal is big, So
we try to bring in
cool.
the virtual way something that we do in the normal life, because me and the Maestro are like this, talk and exchange ideas, stuff like that. But we want to promote the real life and real life engagement between people, so the relationship and stuff like that. So we hope to that this kind of message via the computer will be appreciated from people and will be understood. So again, thanks a lot for being here with this hour and 20 minutes with us. For us, it will be a huge honor to talk about Blood Red Throne, and you hope that you enjoyed the interview so far. Again, I'm repeating myself.
Very cool.
Thank you very much.
And we want to...
Grazie.
Prego, grazie a te.
Prego.
And we want to say, if you have some lines that you want to say, you have some free space before the end of the interview right now.
Okay. The typical metalhead would say, "Stay metal." I would say, of course, stay metal. But be nice to people. Be kind to people. Ask them if they need help. If you see they need help. And stay metal. Yeah.
Stay mental.
Stay mental and stay metal.
Okay, great. Okay. Thanks, Freddy, for being with us, and enjoy the rest of the evening. And thanks for being here. We hope that you will bring you again in the show when maybe Blood Red Throne has some news. I don't know. Let's get in touch, and we will be great to have you back on the show. Thanks again.
Stay in touch. You have to give me some info on some interesting Italian death metal.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Stay in touch.
You like brutal death metal, melodic death metal? I will send you some bands in the just after the live stream. Even I don't know. You know, for example, Out of Penance we have on the show a lot of bands here. Italian is one of the best metal scene worldwide, in my opinion, about death metal. So
cool.
I don't want to be the patriotic dickhead right now, but I think that we have something to say about death metal.
That's cool.
Okay, perfect.
Show it to me.
Me and Alan will make you a list as soon as possible, and we will share you some bands. Okay.
Very good.
Great.
Yeah.
And also we will share you some wine too. Any band, any drink, the game.
That's the sound the best. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, enjoy the rest of the evening, and thank you for being here.
Yeah,
thank you for being
here. Ciao. Arrivederci.
Okay, my mouse does not work anymore, but I think that okay, I can make it. Okay. Thank you, Freddy.
Thank you.
Good night.
Yeah, bye.
Ok, abbiamo avuto Freddy dei Blood Red Throne con una bellissima intervista. E gli dobbiamo suggerire qualche gruppo death metal, e siccome non facciamo gli ignorri, non suggeriamo solo gruppi death metal, suggeriamo anche i vostri progetti, quindi mandateci redazione.ilcalicenero@gmail.com. Ultime parole del maestro, per poi... Non so perché oggi il mio mouse non mi funziona bene, quindi si blocca ogni tanto, scusatemi.
Traduciamo la domanda, traduciamo la risposta che ha dato, così poi chiudiamo.
Allora, ha suggerito come drink la birra artigianale che aveva al momento. E ha detto anche che il Fernet Branca è perfetto, però a lui piace molto il fatto che la cultura italiana è particolare anche sui drink. Infatti è stato a Nola, che è praticamente la città di fronte casa mia, cioè tipo il paese a fianco a casa mia, dove tra l'altro è il paese natale di Giordano Bruno, Nola, e ha detto che praticamente lì ha potuto gustare tantissime varietà di vino, perché c'è una grossa tradizione anche di vinerie locali. E ha chiesto anche qual era il drink del Calice Nero. Io ho detto, secondo me il vino, perché rappresenta un po' tutto il calice, no? Però anche quello che hai detto tu, Alan, gliel'ho poi ripetuto, è ottimale. Però alla fine, quando chiediamo il drink del calice, lo chiediamo anche per un fatto di diciamo di condividere qualcosa di particolare, di locale, anche per espandere la nostra conoscenza, perché ad esempio io ho raccontato del fatto che ci ha proposto York dei Sodom le sue cose locali del suo paese, insomma, della sua città, no? Che ci ha mandato il link, il sito, ci ha
che in Germania
scritto.
sono bravissimi a fare
Oppure, per
birra.
esempio, ti ricordi quando ci ha chiesto Mortis, ci ha dato quella birra particolare che non si trova più della Guinness?
Sì.
Intanto ci ringrazia anche in diretta.
Sì,
Dice very much for the interview, fun stuff. Ovviamente grazie a te, veramente, anche abbiamo avuto qualche problema tecnico prima di andare in live. Non ho capito che cazzo è successo, questo faccimma di Gesù Cristo in croce di mouse che non funziona più, però fortunatamente Gesù Cristo in croce funziona la live, quindi sto bestemmiando in live. YouTube demonetizzami, non me ne fotte proprio. Cioè ragazzi, è incredibile, oggi è proprio la giornata dei disfunzionamenti, cioè non funziona la live prima di Freddy, non funziona il mouse, ma c'è qualcuno che ci sta nominando, si dice a Napoli. Non penso, dai, non penso, però a noi piace scherzare sulle cose, ecco.
Comunque niente, ci vediamo lunedì, sarà un after di varie puntate, dove lunedì cominciamo direttamente con i Black Funeral, con la sacerdotessa Sara che ritorna, di queste edizioni che veramente ci fa veramente tanto piacere. Abbiamo appunto la prima volta sul canale e anche forse in Italia, che appunto intervista Michael Ford dei Black Funeral.
Mi raccomando, siateci, perché penso che sarà una delle rare occasioni in cui ce l'abbiamo dal vivo.
Perché è un personaggio
praticamente sta in day off per una serie di iniziative che fa proprio con Ecate Edizioni, quindi l'abbiamo acchiappato volo a volo, come si dice a Napoli, quindi veramente non fatevi.
C'è anche Thomas Carlson, che è un esoterista molto importante, professore dell'università svedese, quindi altro personaggio veramente molto importante. Beh ragazzi,
poi abbiamo ancora altre cose in mente, abbiamo fatto l'altra volta il CD, il libro Anarca di Giacomo Maria Prati, che verrà fatto un episodio speciale. Avremo anche un altro autore di libri, cioè cerchiamo di fare una cosa un po' più a 360 gradi riguardante l'altro, quindi mi raccomando, seguiteci, il codice d'onore è sempre lo stesso. Se funziona il mouse, mannaccia la miseria, stasera è incredibile, cioè proprio tutte le sfighe stasera comunque.
Perché un attimino voglio fare una cosa.
Vai maestro.
Porco,
cioè, questa sera andiamo proprio abbiamo proprio la sfiga incredibile, si blocca il mouse, si blocca il video.
Black Funeral e Sara sacerdotessa Sara il 20, il 21 Gavetrone, Angel Goth il 22, il 23 chiudiamo in bellezza con il Master, il 27 Ordo Rosario Equilibrio, poi il 26, il 29 e il 30 chiudiamo con Andre Scopo e Richard Steele. Quindi ragazzi, seguiteci, niente, tutto ciò è questo che abbiamo portato. Non è finita qua, perché si sta lavorando con altre situazioni molto importanti. Ragazzi, la morte vi renderà liberi. Il sacro codice d'onore 000, come ha detto Maggiore.
E vaffanculo a tutte le sfighe di stasera, lo diciamo anche in live.
Mai, venerdì 17 noi.
No, è vero, hai ragione, venerdì è incredibile.
Sempre con noi Lucifero che ci protegga. Fanculo Vaticano, è tutta quella religione.
Fanculo Vaticano e soprattutto fanculo il Papa che noi vogliamo scopare. Ciao a tutti quanti, buonasera.